What is going on, guys? Grave here. Today I'm going to do something a little different, but not really a lot different. You're going to see some Call of Duty 4 remastered gameplay here. You're going to see a little bit of Battlefield 1 gameplay here. When I first started my channel, so if you've been around since my very first YouTube video, I used to like do a series. It was kind of like a tech series. It's kind of, I do it every week or every other week, and just kind of talk about gaming news, tech news, whatever. I've kind of decided I'm going to try to do this every week or every other week again. I'm going to try to get the series back going. So this week, I'm going to just kind of pick some games that have been kind of announced the last week or so. And the ones we're going to talk about today, of course, going to be Call of Duty World War II and the new Star Wars Battlefront. And I'm going to kind of do this, like I said, every week or every other week, kind of pick a game or two that's been announced or talked about, or some just gaming news, you know, one or two topics, and kind of talk about it. And do it, like I said, every week or so. So, guys, leave me a comment and let me know how you like the series. I know when I first started, this is one of my more popular series. This is pretty much all I did before I really started doing, like, gaming tips and things like that. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. First of all, guys, we're going to talk about Call of Duty World War II. I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer, have heard about it. They haven't released a whole lot of information about multiplayer. They've shown a lot off about the single player, but we do know they're going to have Nazi zombies coming back, and they're also going to do a social space, kind of like Destiny, for the multiplayer. Kind of when you go in, before you go into play, you're going to be in a social area. They really didn't go into too much detail, but the main thing was, of course, it was going back to boots on the ground, World War II. A lot of people are really, really excited about this. And yes, I'm really excited to see this because I'm an old school COD fan. I've played all of them since the original COD 4. So, I've always been just a shooter fan. I'm just a gaming fan in general. So I play a lot of different games. But Call of Duty and Battlefield games, I've always played both of those, every one of them since the start. So, I mean, those two are some of my favorite shooting FPS franchises. And I was happy to see them go back boots on the ground. I was kind of interested to see the World War II aspect because not a lot of people have been doing that besides, you know, Battlefield 1 recently. I really wouldn't have minded what it would have been if it would have been a, you know, modern era style shooter that was boots on the ground. It would not have mattered to me. But I am happy to see this. The only thing I'm kind of concerned with, I've never been a big fan of Sledgehammer. No offense to them, but their games have just not been as enjoyable to me as some of the other Call of Duty makers' games. So I'm interested to see how they handle this take on boots on the ground. And I'm also interested to see how the fans take it. Because there's a lot of players out there that play Call of Duty that are newer, that have only played the more futuristic ones. The ones that are just, you know, the boost packs, jumping around, wall running. And that's the only CODs they know. So I'm interested to see how they're going to have handle the slower pace of a boots on the ground game. Which either way, I don't mind it. They both have their goods and their bads, in my opinion. Both different styles. But I'm really happy to see them go back to like a World War II era. Hoping one day Call of Duty or Battlefield will go back to a Vietnam era. That would be absolutely awesome. Anyway, getting on to the next topic, and that is going to be, of course, a few weeks back, you guys all got to see the Star Wars Battlefront trailer for the new Star Wars Battlefront. Last year's installment of Star Wars Battlefront was a disappointment to a lot. Now, I will give it this. The game looked absolutely amazing. It was beautiful. It immersed you in the Star Wars kind of feel. Like, it was almost like you were in the movie, a Star Wars movie, because it felt like Star Wars. It sounded like Star Wars. It looked like Star Wars. It was really, really good. And the gameplay was really, really smooth, really good. The thing that I think hurt a lot of people's opinion about it, or they didn't like, was after a short time of playing, it kind of had that Battlefield 1 bug, but even worse. There was not enough things to unlock, not enough ability to be able to grind the game out. When you got to a certain point, you were kind of done, and it was like, well, what do I do now until DLC comes out? So I'm hoping they have learned from that and going to make it more of a grindy game. But Battlefield 1 kind of has that problem as well. That's a lot of people's problem with Battlefield 1 is just there's not a lot of stuff going on, and it's kind of the same thing. So a lot of people get bored with that, and I can't understand it. The good thing is they're all going to have a campaign in this Star Wars Battlefront, so I know a lot of people are looking forward to that. That is always a good thing in a game. I know a lot of people out there buy games to play just campaigns and never touch the multiplayer, so I know that'll be a good selling point for them. And the thing that was interesting to me about the game is that they were going to cover all eras of the Star Wars universe. You know, the trailer has different characters from different Star Wars movies. I thought that was an interesting idea, but at the same time, I'm not really sure about how they're going to handle that for later games after this Star Wars Battlefront. Because you start putting all the errors into this game, what are you going to do with the next installment or the next or whatnot, if you understand what I'm meaning. But anyway, guys, leave me a comment. Like I said, let me know what you think about those two games. Let me know what you think about the tech series. Anyway, if you like the video, hit the like. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.